Ow.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Last Call podcast. My name is Mikey T, joined as always by T Money.
What's up?
He's into his house.
I am, always.
Be sure to check us out, youtube.com/Mikey T Versus, and our RSS feed on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, possibly. We are joined this week by everyone's favorite...
A man who needs no introduction.
So we won't. I'm
Except
just kidding.
to me. You need to...
Yeah.
Our
favorite singing, songwriting, musical terrorist of Ellicott City.
And there go your ratings.
Yeah, Ahmad The Thrill Ibrahim.
Yes.
Through the roof.
None of my business.
None of my business, though. Oh, I really wish you got that sheep cut out, though.
That would have been so cool. I totally forgot it, but now you have to edit this audio out because, well, you don't want to give it away.
No, I should have told you. That's a rule. After Mikey gives the intro, there's no editing that happens after that.
Damn.
It's all right. We'll leave it because then that'll, for the next time, it'll wet the palate.
Teaser, if you will.
Yeah.
Let's just get a loop of that noise for a while.
Join in, man.
Makes me uncomfortable. No.
Give me
Music,
one,
absolutely
I'll
not.
not be doing that. Yes.
There you go.
I'm a little dry mouth tonight.
It's
Yeah,
two.
just a little dry mouth.
But
You guys caught me from a cold start. I was at home. I didn't even know I was supposed to be here today.
Whoops. But we made it.
Just sitting at home watching The Handmaid's Tale in basketball shorts, and just I'm lucky you called. I had my phone in the corner, like ignoring
You are
text
lucky
messages.
that we called.
Yes, well I am.
Well,
you guys. Yeah, you might have.
We
had to sit
are.
in
It
the
would have been like another.
But
You
that's
might
what he
have
said.
had
He's
to
like, I'm lucky you called. I'm like, yes, you are lucky. Although you didn't mean that, we're gonna take it. We're gonna take that one.
You almost had to sit in the big chair over here. This would have been
Just take over.
Yes.
I would have had no idea. I would have had to have you take care of the audio stuff because I'm
How
not.
hard can it be? It's like, I mean, there's a bunch of dials on there. I really only touched like 3.
Oh my god, that is
Maybe
like
4, 3
the
and a
worst
slider.
question ever for any person, either a DJ or a sound guy, to get. So when that drunk person walks up and is like, "What does this knob do?" or "What does that knob do?" or even worse, when they're like, "Hey, do you mind if I,
Yeah, fucking
wiki?" I'm like, don't.
There's
Why
so
are you
much
even-
in the bar
Why are you
and wedding
talking to
industry.
me?
Why do people feel entitled to do whatever the fuck they want?
Thankfully, all the people that know me and that come out to karaoke, shout out to those guys, don't do that. It's always this like freshly 22-year-old girl.
It's always somebody who's freshly 22 and hammered drunk. Always.
Just like, are you new to this? You are clearly new to this scene.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I want to dive into that like real deep, like DJing in a bar setting where everybody's hammered drunk. So I'm not an Ellicott City regular, right? Like I just showed up to Diamondback. Talk to me a little bit about what you do. Like I know you do karaoke weekly, I think. You do regular DJing. Is there a place where you do that? Like walk us through like what you do.
You've quite the history. So,
yeah, I mean, what I do. I mean, I do. I mean, we do
Who
karaoke.
are you? Start from the beginning. Born in a crack house in 1984. Two? Okay, I was close. I was giving you the benefit of a couple of years.
Nah, son. 84 is my wife's name. Shout out to my wife, my baby mother and shit. You have to say baby mother and shit like that, or else people think that you're a hardworking American.
I forgot to mention, kid on the way. You're joining the club.
Congratulations.
Hey.
Yeah.
Here's to you.
Cheers.
Here's
When?
that. October 3rd.
All right. Best of luck.
October 3rd.
Countdown begins.
We're pushing for October 3rd. Really, the doctor said she's due October 1st, but that's Ryan's birthday. And she doesn't like to share her birthdays.
I feel like you should be pushing for the first.
So, I mean, look, I'm not even mad at her for it. Listen, you know how some families have a holiday. A lot of families have the same holiday, but every family has the holiday.
Like that's the reunion.
You think you do Christmas? My family does Christmas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We go alls out Christmas. Like, all right, cool. Like, we don't really care so much about Christmas, but Halloween or like Thanksgiving is a family reunion. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has like their specific holiday.
And what's yours?
Ryan's family does birthdays, man. That's what they do. They do birthdays all out. When it's like people shop for like it within her family, they shop for each other's birthdays like all year round. Usually you get people that do that like, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to keep it and I'm going to hold it and I'm going to give it to him for Christmas. No, this is birthday.
So does Christmas get dialed back a notch?
Christmas is super dialed back.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm down with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that idea.
So like Christmas is, it's not, and when I say dialed down, Christmas is just as awesome and very much celebrated with like gifts and showered of gifts and everything. It's just that the birthdays are just that much more. It's not
okay.
It's like if Christmas was your favorite holiday, all right, Ryan's family's birthday celebrations is gonna be here, whereas the Christmas will just be like also the favorite holiday.
See, I can get on board with like going all out for birthdays, but like I'm tired of spending like a G on Christmas. Like,
Right now, we don't go like that. It's still a favorite holiday, but the money spent.
Okay.
The majority of the money spent on presents happens on birthdays.
On birthdays.
In Ryan's house.
I think it's a cool idea.
So therefore, she's like, you know what? No, birthdays is what we do.
This is
As well
what
as
we
crab
do.
cakes and football. But I want my own birthday. You know what I mean? That's my birthday. I want her to have her own birthday so that I can celebrate her own birthday. You see what I'm saying? It's not so much that she doesn't want to share her birthday. She wants. Layla is actually going to be her name. She wants Layla to have her own birthday. So
you should look up and use every labor induction trick in the book on October 1st.
Yeah,
just like
spite,
sneak up behind her and scare her and shit, and put like cayenne pepper in her food and like.
What did you do? What did you do to me?
She's like she'll be like 9 months pregnant at that point. She's probably not going to let you like get busy with her, but you know.
I'm all about controlling when all that happens because that's how when my son was born, it was coming up on Dixon's birthday, and Dixon is texting me. It's like he's coming on that. He's coming on my birthday. And I was like, the fuck he is.
That would drive my anxiety through the roof.
Let me ask you a question.
I was like, I will push that baby back in.
Without any exaggeration, honestly, to God, how did you feel thinking about that? Just that one thought.
I was like,
It's calling
Dixon.
you every year on your son's birthday, like, hey,
happy birthday. Happy birthday to my baby.
You know what I'm saying? My twinsy.
Mikey's looking up the recipe for Pitocin on the internet.
How did you actually feel?
I was like, I'm not lying. I was like, babe, you gotta hold that baby in.
Yeah, hold it.
So he missed it, right?
Yeah.
By how much?
2 days.
Oh man.
Because I think wait.
That's so funny.
Dixon's like the 29th or the 30th, and my son was born the 1st, so it was like,
okay. So a couple of days late. So you had to go through that whole day. It wasn't like it came early.
right.
Yeah, and that had to be a long day.
Yeah. I was like, you better not. You better not.
Oh man.
Oh, dodge that bullet.
But yeah. So like we're that's why we're saying October 3rd.
Nice.
So we're like, yeah, October 3rd. We just want to attract that date. I think that's what we want to do. Regardless, it's going to be a Libra girl. My wife is a Libra. We're both going to be Halloween babies.
That's right. Your
Who's
it? Chris Tyler came up with the little nickname. The
Librahim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty clever. I like that.
Baby Librahim. Yeah.
I have a birthday a week before Halloween, and it sucks because like nobody wants to go out the weekend before Halloween and on Halloween. Or like if Halloween is like the Tuesday and my birthday is like the Tuesday before,
I think
fucking
parents,
worthless.
Anybody with a kid probably won't go out the week before Halloween.
No, definitely not. But I mean, even when we're younger, like because Halloween's like a huge deal, and then my birthday always gets combined into Halloween drinking, and it's like now I gotta wear a fucking costume for my birthday. That fucking sucks.
Oh, yeah. See, Ryan, she would be like, "What? Halloween is her." Favorite, like her.
My wife too.
Yeah,
my wife loves Halloween.
She loves Halloween.
I hate it.
Of course, she's a makeup artist, so I mean, now she does what she does. She's a makeup artist, by the way, so she does what she does all year round, and now she has a holiday to celebrate. You know, all of the blood and latex and paint and ugh.
Blood and latex.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
Whoa.
I don't even know what that means.
I have a problem with Halloween where every year, like, no matter where I'm going or how close to the day Halloween it is, like, Halloween could be the Sunday. I'm going out on Saturday night. I'm like, I don't want to wear a costume because I'm afraid I'm going to show up and be the only one. It doesn't matter where I'm going. Like, it's always like going out to a bar that's having a Halloween party. I'm like, I don't want to be the only one in costume. Fuck that noise. Like, I'll just stay in street clothes. And normally my wife talks me out of it, but it's a thing I have deep inside me.
That just means you're not at the right bar.
True.
Oh, well, that's true.
Which is another thing. That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, I don't even know what that's like because I see it's busy Saturday before Halloween. It's busy on Halloween, and maybe it'll be busy after Halloween.
Oh yeah. Depending on, like, if Halloween's like on a Friday, like Halloween extends into Saturday in the bar industry, right? Like, yeah. I know that. My front brain knows that. It's the subconscious that's always like, you're gonna be the only one.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those irrational fears, I suppose. So, I mean, I find it kind of interesting that you guys, you pretty much cover all the bases artistically. You're both singers. She's does the art thing and everything. I mean, you got quite the artistic presence there.
We have a very dreamy household, I think. There's just no limits on daydreaming at our house. You know, there's a lot of La La Land living. So I mean, I drive home 3:00 in the morning and I just hear a melody in my head and I'm like, it's not going away. So I have to do something. So I'll just make whatever song it is.
Is music your whole profession at this point, or do you have like a day job?
Music is like music. Other than my wife and my soon-to-be-born child, music is like my life. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's
like
it's your sole source
everything.
of income. It's what you do for fun.
Oh yeah,
it's
for
what
income for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just didn't know if like you were a mortgage broker during the day, but you just thought about music a lot.
Right.
Like, okay.
No. 4 nights a week I DJ out in Howard County and in
Different
Glen
places,
Burnie.
same
Yeah.
place. Where
So
you
like
at?
Sunday nights I'm at the Phoenix Emporium
Okay.
in Old Ellicott City, and that's a karaoke night. And then Tuesday nights I'm at Looney's Pub South. That's in Maple Lawn. And that's also karaoke night. They're pretty much all karaoke nights. Wednesday nights we're at Nottingham's Tavern in Columbia. And you know that.
Yeah.
And Thursday nights I'm in Mutiny. I'm at Mutiny in Glen Burnie.
Oh,
which is about
over
to
there?
move to Pasadena. Yeah.
I was just going to ask,
They're
did
moving.
that move? Yeah.
Yeah, because they couldn't get that Ellicott City spot.
Yeah. Well, what happened with all that? Do you know the stories behind it?
To be completely honest with you, I heard the story, and I'm not sure of the facts of the story right now. So I'm going to, like, beatbox and say, and it goes a little something like this. Hit it. Something about, like, they had all the plans done, and they had to follow, like, certain historic guidelines. So they hired this company to design the layout of the new restaurant in accordance with the historic society and all that.
They take that seriously.
And they take that very serious. So what happened was, like, the company they hired delayed, so that, like, they were behind on other projects. So they finished that, and then they got started this. So by the time the design was made, which was already, like, super, like, months late, then they submitted it, and because it was rushed, it wasn't done correctly. So it costed Mutiny something like crazy, like maybe $50,000 or something like that, because they had to pay these engineers to go in here every single day and yada 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 and design all this stuff, and they failed. I mean, I think and I hope that they, like, pursued some sort of, like, reimbursement from that kind of situation. But when they submitted it, Historic Society came back and was like, this is just not working, bro. You know, like, come on, you can't put a hood in this. You can't poke a hole in that. And
where were they trying to go?
They were gonna go right on the corner.
On the corner down the street from where Diamondback was. I mean, you could take.
Okay.
They should have just
Was it
taken
the
the
theater or next door to the theater?
across the street. Yeah,
Across the street from the theater.
or Taylor's, the antique
Little
store,
corner.
which
Yeah.
they've
Yeah,
now
yeah.
made it back into Taylor's, which I thought was interesting.
That is weird.
But
So yeah,
I mean, you
that's
could
what
always
happen with that.
you could always go the Manor Hill route and just do it in the middle of the night with no approval and just while everybody's suffering from the flood, and then
Strike
already
while the,
done.
Strike while the city's weak.
yep,
That's the lesson I learned here.
Is that what they did?
yeah,
Did they break a lot of like historic rules and stuff?
Mhm.
Oh no.
yeah. It's not a lot of like major ones and stuff, but I mean, they took down a whole bunch of trees out back that they weren't allowed to. They just kind of came in and did whatever they wanted, and then asked for forgiveness afterwards.
Oh wow.
Pay
So-
the
Could you
fines.
blame them for that? I mean,
No, I don't really.
I don't mind. I don't mind that saying.
There's a fine line.
Better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Oh yeah, especially with the historic society, because most of them don't know what the hell they're doing anyway, so they're just kind of being sticklers to be.
There's a
Right.
fine line between historically accurate and shitty.
Mm.
Like I think a lot of the stuff that they make people
Right.
maintain in downtown Ellicott City.
Well, welcome to old and vintage.
yeah,
Like
yeah, but
vintage
like,
costs you $300
but
and
it
old
doesn't
is free.
Feel that way when you're trying to,
You know what I'm saying?
when you're trying to operate a modern business in a space shackled to historic standards.
Right.
It just feels like you're cheap. Like,
Right. Well,
you know, that's
and-
part of what hurt Diamondback.
And I
like,
don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, and like you said, I mean, there's got to be like that line needs to be a little bit less fine, you know, or less, dark. Actually, it needs to be thinned out a little bit because, like you said, I mean, it's modern businesses can't be walking around. We have room enough for 200 people, but these floors are from ancient Roman times, so they can't hold.
your
but 100
stairways have
people.
to be too steep, and your ceilings should be too low. They should make people feel uncomfortable. Like,
Right. That's the upstairs at at what's the place? Coco Lane.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
So
Looks like an old apartment up there.
I'm just curious. So you DJ 4 different places on a regular schedule, 4 nights a week.
And then I do weddings on the weekend.
Do you have 4 different sets of equipment, and they
No.
stay there?
No.
You have one set of equipment, and you just move that from bar to bar to bar to bar 4
Yeah.
nights a week.
Well, some of the bars have the house.
Some of them
Oh,
are
they've got, like
half
house
setups.
speakers, and
yeah,
you've
like
got,
I'll
like,
have
your
right. I'll still
Okay.
have my gear, my turntables or whatever.
okay.
Some
gotcha.
places like Looney's, I tap into the house sound. Nottingham's, I tap into house sound. Phoenix and Mutiny, I have to set up my own sound.
You bring PAs in and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think,
okay.
and then but everybody right now we're integrated like audio video too. So like I got like 7 TVs at Nottingham's. They put me on to like 10 or 15 TVs at Looney's, and I got like 3 TVs at the Phoenix. Well, 3 out of 5 TVs at the Phoenix.
I was thinking.
Actually, they have like 7 TVs in there, but 2 of them have still not been hooked up yet. So anytime somebody comes up and asks me, like, "Oh my God, the Phoenix, how's it going, man? Since they opened, everything cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, everything's great. The place looks a little too clean, if you ask me, but it's great. It's clean." And I guess the only thing that they haven't fixed yet is the TVs. It's like there's still just 2 black, and one of them mine. Like, I just donated it because I'm like, because you heard about them getting robbed.
Yeah. That was
You know,
some
during their
bullshit.
construction. So they stole all their TVs. So I had like a couple of flat screen TVs that, I kept in my basement to use as monitors. And I gave them to the Phoenix.
Oh, that's cool.
You
they
have to
just
see them
never-
on.
they just
You have
never-
to see them on.
Well,
I mean, let's be honest. They only got flat screens like 4 years ago. So
Did they?
Something like
they
that.
got a little. No? Oh, no. They had that big TV floating on top of the
they had
fridge.
the big. Yeah, they had the giant tube televisions until like maybe it was 5 years ago. I don't know, but
so talk to me about hosting karaoke, because that sounds like a nightmare to me.
I knew you were
That
going to say
sounds
nightmare.
Really, I mean, just because it sounds
Listen, for a guy
difficult,
that's not
it
going to get
sounds-
dressed up at Halloween,
no. Look, I get it.
karaoke is already like out of the question.
No, I like karaoke, right? I
gonna
like it.
sing
But like
karaoke?
what you said, what's that?
Are you going to sing karaoke?
I would. I
'Cause
haven't, it hasn't really come up, but I
I
would.
came prepared today.
Well, not now. No,
Oh.
I'm definitely not drunk enough for that.
Come.
But
I do not support any karaoke going on in my house.
no, what I
I'm
was
so anti karaoke. The only reason I've ever gone to karaoke is to see you.
it's a fun activity. It's a fun activity for drunk people. What I was saying was managing it feels really difficult. Like it's got to be hard to keep the crowd in it. It's got to be hard. I mean, when you're trying to push a crowd through somebody who's really truly like offensively awful, like, and not in the funny way, but like in the, you know, it's sad way. Like maybe they don't know how bad they are. Like,
what? I was gonna go anonymous with it, but
it's all right. Nobody that watches this knows who he is.
I think everybody who watches this, knowing who I am, will know exactly who the person you're talking about is.
Well, then they'll appreciate that comment.
What's your number one tip for somebody who's like coming up? They want to do what you're doing. What's the biggest thing that you do to get through the night that you learned in your long years of hard-fought experience? Is it managing the track list? Is it managing the people?
It's not the track list, man.
Just letting people have fun?
I'll tell you that much, man. You look, you're not a radio station DJ, okay? And you are also not in your house. You know, at a radio station, you have to play what the radio tells you to play. If you're at 98 Rock, you're not going to be playing country. If you're, you know what I'm saying? If you're at WPGC, you're not playing, you know, White Stripes. You know what I mean? So, like, when you're limited by your profession, there is that. And then you're at home playing whatever the fuck you want to play, then you're allowed to do that too. So you're either completely constricted or free game. You know what I'm saying? And at a bar, when you're being paid to do what I do, then you have to do what the people want.
Sure.
You'll hear a lot of DJs say, fuck this request, fuck that request. And you know what? We have those. There's a list of requests that will get like the ultimate eye roll and maybe a group text message about like, oh my God, you can't believe how many requests of Despacito I fucking got this week, you know? Like,
oh man, I didn't even think of that one.
Right. So it's like, you know, there's that kind of like, ugh, woes, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But you got to do it. You're paid. If you wanted to not play it, or if you wanted to play whatever the fuck you only want to play, then you need to be a house, like you're in-home DJ, not an actual like not a house DJ, like you just DJ at home. Because what you're doing is, if I had any, like, you know, you're saying like, do you have any pointers? I'm like, don't be a fucking professional DJ if you're not ready to receive money to play what the people want to play. If you're either taking the requests because you're horrible at reading a crowd, or you're reading the crowd and you're playing what people want to play, and nobody is requesting shit because they're happy with your playlist. Whether you like that playlist or not, it's not up to you. You know, we're all slaves to the grind, man. Like I as soon as I clock in, I'm on house rules. So when, you know, a lot of times some DJs might get into like some issues with, you know, the management problems and stuff like that. Like, man, kept telling me this and kept telling me that. I'm not working at that place. I'm like, are you getting paid by that place? Then you do what that place does. Now, that goes to a different rule. Like, if you're at a private party and you're doing like a Sweet 16 and
Right.
birthday girl wants to hear Despacito 3 times in a motherfucking row, you're getting paid $1,000 for a 4-hour party. What the fuck are you complaining about?
Put that
Play
shit on
Despacito.
repeat.
I'm gonna put that shit on 5 times and
really
go
make
take
sure
a
it rides
shit.
Go pour a drink. Yeah.
You know, like that's you've just been paid. You don't get to you know what I mean. You can hate it internally, but you don't get to complain about it or deny it because you're being paid.
You die
if
a
the
little
house-
inside, but
yeah. So if a manager of a place comes up to me and says, "I don't want you playing any more hip hop for the rest of the night,"
Mm-hmm.
and I look out into the crowd and I see probably about 70%
obvious hip
my
hop fans.
peoples and about 30% yeehaws. You know, this is going to be pretty bad. Why? Because the house has told me to stop playing hip hop or rap, and I got a whole bunch of people that are going to just bite my head off or keep requesting hip hop, rap, Drake, Future. Play that Drake and
So
play
how
that
do you
Future.
resolve that kind of situation?
You go with the house.
Okay.
You
I
see
get
what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah.
And every single person that
You'd
comes
say-
up to me and says, "Play a Drake, man. Why are you playing this bullshit?" And they lean on you. Why are you playing this bullshit? Play that shit. You get this shit out of here. You know what'll get people dancing if you put that shit on, this on, that on. And I'm like, nah, bro. Sorry. Nah, bro. Sorry. He might get mad, but he'll get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I make my manager mad, I don't come
Yeah.
back next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
You see
point
what
is,
I'm
you got to
saying?
make sure
And
the person that's paying you
if you're not
is happy
willing to
first.
do that, stay home. Stay
Yeah.
home. You got to play what people like.
I think that's
like
very.
that.
It's interesting to hear it from your side because that's a lot of what I tell people in bartending. Because when you come into the bar industry, ultimately your job is to make someone have you. You're making drinks, but you're making people happy. You need
Right.
to provide them with the service of your time and your expertise, and they leave having a good time.
Right.
And you're gonna have people that suck. But if you allow every person that sucks to get into your head and ruin your night,
Well, I mean, that's another part of
Yeah,
it.
and
for
change
sure.
how you interact.
Your own personal psyche, man. If you know how to handle that, then you're built for it. But let me tell you, that does not come with a simple couple of words from me. That comes with years of experience. That comes with I'm half of me is completely fed up.
absolutely.
With dealing with hey, I don't know how to use the iPad to sign up. I'm like, if you know how to text, you know how to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm short with people now. I'm like, because we don't do books or slips anymore for karaoke. Everything's done on our cell
Makes
phone.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super easy. I sent a
like, I
joke
got-
one in on Wednesday. And
And then you get some people that are like, I don't know how to do that on my phone. I'm like, are you fucking
Do
stupid?
you like? Do you like?
Like,
texting?
yo,
Do you like texting?
Like,
what you want to
okay,
do?
cool. Like, but my eyes. I'm like, you have you don't
pull-
use your phone at all
you
because
pull it
your
up-
eyes. Like,
you
come
pull
on.
it up on their website. There's 2 text bars that you enter. You enter your name and the song. And you select the song.
Right.
And
then
that's
it goes
it.
to him.
And it sends
And
it
then
to
do you
him.
get like a text when it's your turn?
oh,
or
the
do
only-
you just call out? Just
the
like,
only other
I
thing-
just get the name and I put them in a list. Yeah.
you just call out. Like,
And I call them out
hey,
when they're ready,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever. Okay.
And what I didn't realize, it's the first time I used it because I'm never signing up for actual karaoke, but I will sign Stanley Archibald Dixon III up for singing Party in the USA at
Oh,
Naughty's.
that's gotta be. That's gonna happen all the time.
It was
So
great.
that happens all the time. And you know what? We don't mind that. You know why? Because it's cool. That means that there's a table out there having a good time.
laughing because they.
You know what I'm
did
saying?
that. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
some
yeah.
karaoke DJs will be like, "Stop signing your friends up. It's a waste of time." Sometimes I do that. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna trip. Sometimes I do that. Because,
Sometimes
like,
you have to.
Like, no, only time I actually say that is if it's like 1:00 in the morning, and have 30 minutes to go and about 17 singers. How many songs can you listen in 30 minutes? Think of an album, a
8,
CD.
9,
Not
maybe
even 9.
7.
You average
You
about
got all
4
the
minutes a
transitions.
song.
Yeah. And then there's a
Right?
transition
And
there.
a transition it and a wait
Drunk
for them to walk
people.
up.
Yeah.
So forget
It's
about
like
it.
5
30
more
minutes,
songs, yeah.
5 songs. I got 17 songs up, and I got somebody that gives me a slip that says, Michael H. Hunt. You know what I mean?
Oh, that kind of
Like-
shit would drive me nuts.
Like, I mean, that happens all the time. But like, let's say somebody signs up, Mikey Tyler, and I'm like, Mikey Tyler, and meanwhile, Mikey Tyler just like he's like looking at their friends like, I can't believe that you guys signed me up, blah blah. I'm not.
Because you got to give Mikey his fair shake in case he doesn't hear you.
here's the
in
yeah.
case he's a real person.
So
Yeah,
I'm
no, I
like,
get
I'm
that.
like, Mikey, and this is actually the worst part is when they tell their friends that they're not going to sing. I don't care what you signed me up for. I'm not going to go sing. Meanwhile, I don't need them to tell their friends that they're not going to sing. I need them to tell me that they're not going to sing, so I can move the fuck on. So I usually do like a name like twice and look out in the crowd. If I don't see any sudden movements, I'm like going once, going twice, sold. And we move on. Like I move really fast through my rotation just so I can get more singers into my shows.
Yeah.
You have a great just flow to everything. That you've figured out how to word everything, how to move people through the process. I've always thought it was very impressive how you keep everybody on schedule because I forget the terminology. What's your terminology
So
for
we'll say like Ahmad is up next, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna bring Ahmad up here. I say keywords. I say things like we're gonna bring Ahmad up here, and then I say Mikey on deck, Tristan in the hole,
Yeah.
Okay.
like
Gotcha.
baseball.
Yeah.
So even if you didn't, like a lot of times what'll happen is as Ahmad comes up to sing, Tristan also comes up. Like, I heard my name. I'm like, yeah, good. I said that you're in the
Stay
hole.
nearby.
Yeah.
You're coming
You've got
up
my attention
after him.
now. Yeah.
So it's kind of a letdown for them because they're excited to sing. And not only are they not singing right now, they're also not singing afterwards. They're singing third in line, you know? So sometimes that's like kind of funny. Like everybody's like, it's another annoying thing. When am I up? When am I up? When am I up? When am I up?
Right.
Like, you know, like, why does it matter? This is where I'm at now.
I'll call you. Yeah.
I've been doing this for almost 17 years now. And so, like, I'm at a point now, I'm like, why? Why do you need to know when you're up? Because I'm fishing right now, by the way. I'm fishing. This is horrible. I'm glad that I'm saying this out loud because I'm taking personal inventory. I'm fishing for them to tell me that they're leaving soon. So I can say, good.
Yeah, cross one off.
You're off the
I
list.
get you. If you have to go, and I tell them, I'm like, if you have to go, then go. They're like, what? Wait, can you at least tell me where I am or bump me up so I can sing so I can go? I'm like, I cater to the people who are staying and spending money is what I say to them.
Nice.
And then they're like,
I appreciate that.
but I stayed and spent money. I'm like, and you also sang in the first round. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you stayed, you spent money, you sang a song, and you got to go now.
Yeah.
Although it's 10:30, I'm not going to fight you over the fact that you have to go. I'm not going to bump you either. However, for those who are very adamant, I tell them to look at my screen. And I keep a fair rotation. As soon as I get first come, first serve. So if Mikey gives me if Mikey pops up on my screen before Tristan, then Mikey goes into the list and it just comes up as a name. So I keep a little notepad open with names on it. That's the rotation order. That's the batting order now.
Yep.
Okay.
And the batting order doesn't change. So when you look down and you see Lisa, who needs to sing and go,
I want to think
she's down here.
Despacito
She's
right
down
now.
here. And we're like currently up here, so there's about 5 people between her. And and she's like, I want to sing next so I can leave. Please. I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't. Once they give me that and they really, really want to sing next, I tell them, okay, this is your name. This is where we are. That's 5 bumps. It's $10 bump. You tell me how much you want.
Have you ever had anybody take you up on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Fuck
I bet.
yes.
Yeah,
And here's
I
what
bet.
happens. Here's what happens to winning game. These are things that I've learned over the years, man. As soon as you say it's $10 a bump, how far do you want to go? He's like, wait to the fucking top. This guy said, I'll give you $100. Let me sing next 3 songs in a row. He wanted to sing 3 songs in a row, and then the third one, on the third song, he was gonna sing a song to his girl and ask her to marry him.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm like, yo, you got it. So once he sang the first one, he sang next. So somebody came up to me. They're like, hey, I thought I was next. I'm like, yeah, he just tipped me $100 to sing next. 3 songs. They're like this.
Yeah.
And then they walk away. They're like, do you, boo-boo. And then when they sing 2 songs, and this guy was horrible. This guy was bad.
Do you worry that that's gonna like
It
fuck up
comes
your
up.
night, fuck up your flow?
It comes
like,
up. It comes up, man.
people start kind of bailing,
So
like on
once-
the room. You know what I mean?
No, that
Like-
never happens.
Okay.
That never happens, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I'll let this guy sing 3 times in a row, and then as soon as the third song comes on, they're like, "What the fuck is this? This guy not only is he bad, but he's singing 3 songs in a row. Like, you don't let anybody do that." And then I'm like, they're like, I got you. I see what you did there. Like, yeah, I don't blame you. The guy just gave you $100. You
I'm
just
not
made
gay, but
$100.
$20 is $20.
60, you know.
So you're never worried that, like, even if I tipped you $100 and stank up the room for what's now 12 minutes.
Here's what happens when I do that. I walk out into the crowd. This is the engaging part that I do. So I'm not a DJ who I don't usually stand just put behind my gear. In fact, a lot of places that I set up, make sure that I'm either set up with my back towards so I can just turn around and not be in front of, not have my table or my turntables in front of me. Or like I have a way to jump out. I don't like boxing myself in.
Okay.
Which is why I set up karaoke on the stage at Nottingham's rather than the DJ booth, even though there's a perfectly
Oh, interesting.
there's a beautiful DJ booth there, and where I don't have to run all these different kind of wires. I can hear the singers better.
And what do you do when you get out into the crowd?
So like what I do is when karaoke happens, this is also another cool thing about karaoke is because The playlist is what people sing. You know, you can't shame me for a playlist that you don't like. A lot of people enjoy my in-between songs, you know, my transition songs, but I don't have a set playlist for karaoke because the playlist is what people choose to sing.
Right.
That's the songs that you're going to hear in its entirety.
You're gonna have those dedicated people that sing their weekly songs.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you're at the control of what the crowd is like. Who is there?
I'm
and
at the
what
mercy of the crowd. Yeah, I'm at the mercy of the crowd. So when somebody comes up and sings a bad song,
Oh,
By the way, super nice guy.
very nice guy.
not that nice.
Oh,
Not nice enough that you wouldn't trash him
Not nice with the pipes.
in public.
oh. To be fair, I trash everybody.
Well, that's true.
This is true.
It's a sign of affection.
This is true.
So you get up, you sing a bad song.
So so somebody can come up and say, like,
He's
let's
really-
just, for
he's
example, this
really
guy who
eating it.
gave
It's
me $100, right?
4.5 minutes long.
Yeah. So this guy gives me $100 to sing the song, and now he sucks. So what I do is I go out into the crowd. Like, I mean, like, there are your peoples that are like just already just having conversation, not paying attention. They are the people that don't pay attention to great singers, you know. So they're just like waiting for their turn to sing, and they're not listening to anybody else. Then you have the people that are like just bawling, laughing at how horrendous this person is. And that, what was that dude's name? William Hung. Remember him?
Yeah.
Remember
She bang.
Yeah. That was like the ultimate, and he got popular off of being horrible. You know, it's kind of like winning the ugly dog contest. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody does know his name. It's
Yeah.
a weird world we live in.
Right? So,
Fail
So
upwards.
people are laughing. So there's some people laughing.
and
some
then you
people
got the people that are annoyed by this. So then I go up to those people, okay, and then just kind of like strike up a conversation with them. I'll say something like, you know, I'm equal opportunity. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Bad voices matter. You know what I mean? Like, and then they'll laugh just like you guys did. You see what I'm saying? So like, and then I tell them like, you know, I'll use a line like, you know, nobody said my job was easy. You know what I mean?
It never
A lot of
occurred to
people,
me that crowd work would be a part of that.
Crowd work is very vital to karaoke's
That's what he
survival.
does.
That's
Survival.
and that's what everyone knows. Well, I hate everything, but I hate karaoke. But I would come.
You know that.
I would come and see you because I love you. Put on a show yourself.
It's fun, yeah.
That goes around. You know, no matter whether the person that's there is singing well or not.
Right.
You
I do a
you
little
put
jumping
on, you put on a
around,
show.
I jump around behind
He'll-
him, I
yeah,
back
he'll-
up, sing.
Yeah,
you know
he'll
what I
jump
mean?
in.
Okay.
Like
all
if
right.
somebody's doing like Proud Mary, you know what I mean? Ike and Tina, I'll be back there like doing Tina Turner, you know what I mean? Like to give other people like, it's a show now, you know what I'm saying? It's not just one person singing. There's a performance going on, you know, like it's to make it a little bit more interesting.
What's the song everybody thinks they can sing but they can't?
The song that everybody thinks they can sing but they can't.
Like I want to say
I
it's
know
like
where I
sung by
wanna go
maybe
from
like
here, too.
Lauryn Hill or
Man.
by like, because I used to know these two girls at a restaurant that I used to work with, and they were super nice, and I loved them both, but they always used to do a thing where they would start singing.
You
Damn
said
it.
Lauryn Hill, was it?
I did say Lauryn Hill.
Is it Lauryn Hill?
I think it was. Oh, it was a Fuji song. It was
The Fuji song.
the Fuji song.
Killing Me Softly?
Killing Me Softly.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Originally done by Roberta Flack.
And they would
So we
and they would
know.
do the whole thing where they would like they put their hand to their ear.
Oh,
and they'd
yes,
be
my
like,
favorite.
Living my life with his words, and they both like modulate and vibrato, and they do it right next to each other, and they do it like once a week, like
What-
it was their thing,
Like it was their-
and nobody wanted to
their
be
jam.
like girls.
the ghetto yodel.
Dial it down a
Stop.
notch. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that great.
So I'm just wondering, is there one of those that like every week there's somebody thinks they can do but they can't?
It probably rotates. doesn't
Before we get to the song, I want to let you know, let you in on something. Man, we could talk about this for hours. But listen, so there's this thing where if somebody sings a really, really bad song or a good song, not so great, but they like did this like kick or or a headbang during a Metallica song, and they just really felt it, and people were like, all right, he felt that song, okay, regardless of the fact that he sounds like shit, he felt that song. And after he was done, it was so entertaining, the performance that he pulled off while singing horribly, that everybody goes like this.
Nice.
And they clap. And that's how you make a monster. That's why your girls kept doing it every week. Your girls kept doing that every week because they got clapped to.
And he comes back up and he does the kick, or he does the headbang Metallica
and he comes
thing
back
over
up
and over
every
again.
single time
The
because he wants that.
It was the laughing table. The laughing table supported
The
them.
laughing table always supports. And a lot of
That's a
times there
dangerous
are
game.
people that I honest to God believe they do not think they sound bad.
Right.
They
Right.
believe that they have killed it.
Oh, so now it's this weird like self-feeding monster where like the people who are
Exactly.
really laughing are supporting the people who think they're really good.
Right.
Oh man.
And so therefore they keep doing it every time, and then they
makes
do
you
this
wanna
little
die just
bullshit right
thinking
here
about
where they plug their ear.
Yeah.
Do you realize anytime you see somebody, and this goes out to anybody,
Public service announcement.
if you are out there and you plug your ear when you sing and you actually push your finger inside your ear hole, or you like push your nubby to block your
Your
ear
tragus.
so you can hear the humming that's in your brain while you're singing, you are completely out of your mind. That is not what people do, although that's what you see.
It's not
all
how it
you
works.
have to
It's
do,
not how any of this works.
if you want to do that, to actually hear yourself, put your fingers behind your ears and bring your palm close to your mouth until you can hear your voice piercing your ear.
You're singing to yourself. So
Yes, that's what you do. You're turning your hand into a freaking telephone. So anytime you see somebody holding their ear shut, look to your friend, point at him with your thumb, and just say, "This motherfucker," because that's what I feel.
that's most of my life. So
Yeah.
I'm there. I got you.
Or at least when you're kicking somebody out.
I wanted to pause and say we don't normally do this on the show, but I think we've given out 2 really good life lessons in the last half hour or so that we've been doing this. Number 1 is what you just said. It doesn't matter if you're bad or even mediocre at what you're doing. Own your shit, and people will respect you for it.
People will respect you for it.
And number 2 is what you touched on earlier, where it's applicable in the bar industry and the music industry and my industry and pretty much all of life. It's don't let 5% of the people you deal with fuck up 100% of your time.
True.
Absolutely.
Don't let the tiny portion of the crowd fuck with your whole day.
Pick
I
pick
think
your
both
battles.
of those, yeah. Well, that's another good one. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, at least in the bar industry. Well, I mean, in other industries as well, but in the bar industry, it's a lot more direct, where you have that in your face interaction. You know, like if you have a problem with someone at a law firm, you know, it's very unlikely that it's going to get to the point where you actually have words with someone back and forth right there.
Right.
In the bar industry, obviously that's a lot more likely. But it's like you as the bartender or the DJ, the sober or more sober of the 2 interacting people,
Right. You're working. You are at
yeah,
work.
you have
They are at play.
yeah. It is on you to control that situation. And that's what I tell people that are new to the bar industry, that it's never going to be worth it. Almost never going to be worth it for you to just start an argument or continue an argument. It's usually someone else starting it. But it's not worth your time. It's if it works you up. I mean, sometimes it's a lost cause and you just have to make an example of someone, and I approve of that when it's applicable.
100%.
Does it look like this?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Well, yeah, we should
selfie,
mention
dude. That
that.
selfie was savage, bro.
All right, we'll transition to that real quick, and I also have another question for Ahmad. But so we did have an incident at Noddy's where a guy who had a few too many cocktails,
As you do.
but
I like how you're like, a few too many cocktails.
that was actually before us. Yeah. He had 3 drinks from. He had a tab with me. He only ordered from me. He had 3 drinks.
This is great because you're the one who ended up kicking him out.
Yeah, and he was being fine with me, but then he just sort of like you could see like everything was falling apart.
Human disappearing behind the eyes.
Oh,
once they start looking through you, you know.
Yeah,
I
and
see
he
it
started,
too. Yeah, you see that at
Oh,
karaoke.
That's
absolutely.
It. Yeah. There's
Like, can I sing Just a Small Town Girl?
the 1,000-yard
I'm
whiskey
like-
stare. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And that's when like just 15 minutes.
Yep.
That's how Henri always handled
right
it.
here. I'll be right back.
I'll play your song just like 5 more minutes. Yeah, just 5 more minutes.
That's exactly how I deal with my 4-year-old. Like he can't tell fucking time.
Yeah.
He's-
Oh, it's the silent game.
Daddy,
Yeah.
has it been 5 minutes? It's
Absolutely.
been 45. I'm like, no, 1 more minute.
Dealing with drunks for over a decade has made me uniquely qualified for parenthood.
That's
It's
true.
That's all it is.
it's very.
That's all kids
I mean,
are.
you're set.
I'm good.
You're good.
Good.
You come out. You're like,
Good.
oh, I'm just gonna. I'm be
Unless
like,
I
kid.
get way too fed up with drunks, because then I'm just gonna be like, I work and here. No.
It's
Bad news, bro. That kid ain't gonna tip you.
yeah. Listen, kid.
And it's always coming back.
You're coming up in 2. But so anyway, this guy, he's getting a little too animated. Stanley Dixon and Tatro are both up at Noddy's visiting, and this guy has now sort of latched on to our group of friends and is starting to talk to them.
Shit.
And then all of a sudden, when Dixon runs off to the bathroom, the guy
He
walks
reaches for his drink.
Huh?
Oh, I was trying to predict.
close.
Damn it.
He goes over and grabs jalapenos off of Dixon's pizza and starts like throwing them. And we're like, "What are you doing? That's not your food."
And then
And he's like, "Oh, no. Yeah, no." I was like, "That's also not your seat." He's, yeah. That means you have to move. Move over there. And now it's like I'm trying to be like somewhat respectful,
but you're
like,
also being stern, because once they get to that level of drunk, you can't talk to them like a normal human being.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have to like give them a shout. Like my wife sees me like talking to some drunk people sometimes. She's like, "You're a little too mean." I'm like, "You don't understand.
You have to.
I'm not mean. I'm upping my level of
Yeah.
conversation.
You got to drive it
to
home
get
a little
through to this wall of whiskey."
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, he's like,
that's how that it continues to escalate. So I have now come around from the other side of the bar and I've grabbed the bouncer, because unlike Diamondback, where I just would have like choke slammed him through a window, we have to take like the more like appropriate approach. And grab the bouncer, and I'm like, "Hey, keep an eye on this guy. We're probably going to have to kick him out."
yeah.
So,
I'm giving you
and
the
as
heads
I'm
up.
saying that, Meg is behind the bar, who's the other bartender that I'm working with, and this guy has now signed his tab that I gave him, and then throws the pen at her because she's telling him not to mess with other people's shit. So from here, Brandon, the manager, who's also a bouncer, and then Jason, who's a bouncer, have now come over, and I'm around the corner just.
They're both salivating, dicks hard. Like
Yeah.
it's time. It's ready.
That's
Time
like,
to go.
this guy's got
Threw
to
a pen
go.
at the manager. Like somebody's gonna die tonight.
Yeah.
But the thing is, at a place like Nottingham's, where there's a lot of, I mean, it's been there a long time. There's a lot of traffic through there. You have to stick to the rules a lot more than a smaller place.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like you really have to cover all your bases. So they're very careful about how you remove someone from the building.
Okay.
Very rarely does somebody really get dragged out.
So they're not. Yeah, they're not gonna 1, 2,
Right.
3
No,
him out
they
the
actually,
front door.
no,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
security guys there at Nottingham's, they actually follow a specific guideline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No funny like knee to the back. You know what I mean? Like, or like oh no, he tripped, fell, and landed on my fist kind of thing.
Gotcha.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like
Okay.
they follow a pretty strict,
None of that Baltimore
because they're
PD
under
stuff.
scrutiny. Yeah, they're always
Yeah.
like under the eye.
And I mean, we live in a litigious society, so you never know what's going to happen. But so this is right by the front door, so we move them to outside. They sort of like push him, but don't have to drag him. He
They just
he goes
move it along.
Yeah, you encourage him towards the
Herding.
door.
Yeah.
Hurdle.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Herding the cattle.
And from there, the guy stands outside of the doorway, but not coming inside, and is proceeding to call the bouncer every name in the book. I mean, he's like, "You're a faggot. You're a bitch." Like just yelling every terrible thing you could say. And of course, this guy is never going to do anything. He's purely jaw jacking.
So much shorter.
Oh
In the
yeah.
picture.
Oh yeah.
It's like-
you can kind of see in the picture. So,
oh man.
but the problem was he's not leaving. So he's antagonizing the bouncer, and Jason, bless his heart, stands there and takes it. I would have leveled that guy already. But eventually we get him to walk away. Now he's going up to cars out in the parking lot as people arrive, trying to warn people of coming in.
Jesus.
And he's like basically harassing people in the parking lot.
Oof.
And then we see him go out to somebody all the way at the backside of the parking lot, which is like, I don't know, like 4 rows back or something like that.
It's a pretty long ways away.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, 100 yards. And so he's harassing these people. We can kind of see, but it's like, all right, it doesn't look like anything too crazy is going on. And then all of a sudden you see him like trying to get into these people's car.
While they're there.
And then so the driver starts driving away, like backing up with this guy with the door open, standing on the door sill. So now Jason and Brandon run out, and they like get him out of there and then push him, and then I get out there shortly after, and the guy's now starting. He's like, I know the owner. You're all getting fired. And finally, Jason just has this moment. He loses it, and he's like, what's the owner's name? And the guy's like, you'll find out. Like, well, clearly you don't even know of the owner.
I'm stuck on that's how Jason lost it.
Jason
loses it and goes, what's the owner's name? I'm like, that would have been the first thing I said to him before I lost it.
Oh, but it was just funny because they had been sitting there, arms crossed, like not responding at all, just like, okay, yeah, okay, and that was the moment where he's just like, he finally couldn't take how stupid it was and had to say something.
I get it. I do. I had a really. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So the final part that gets to the picture is that I'm tired of this guy acting tough and then obviously not doing anything, and just that ultimate moment of proving that point. I took out my phone and walked up, put my back to him, and took a selfie with him, just to show that it's like, I care so little about how tough you think you are that I'm going to turn my back and take a smiling selfie with you.
I have to show you this, Giustiano.
And
the smile on Mikey's face is just
and
like,
the like blank, like he's
like-
blurry, but like
he's-
you can
yeah.
definitely tell he has that like
blown.
my soul has left my
Yeah.
body in lieu of alcohol.
I'll have to find a way to, because it turned out I had live photo on from the iPhone,
really?
so you can in the live photo you
fantastic.
can see how
You can see
he
how he,
jumps
like-
out of the way as soon as he
Oh,
realizes
that's
what's
funny.
going on.
That's too great.
But the cops eventually had to be called, and the guy, I mean, he went to jail.
what a
Nothing
piece of
to say.
shit, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
I was
he
wondering-
kept fighting it and ended up going to jail because
If
of
you
it.
try to get into somebody's car, doesn't want you in there. You're
Like,
completely
dude,
out of
you know,
control at that point. Like I've been there. I've been the guy who like isn't making sense and slurring my words and like, dude, get your shit together. But like when you start, just when you completely lose sense of where you are and what you're doing, you're a danger at that point.
I mean, I've been to that point where I'm like riled up by something, and ready to fight as I always am. But then I've had a cop come up and be like, "Hey, man, cut it out," and I'm like, "Okay."
Got it.
Right. You understood authority.
I was like, "Okay, I'm not."
Well done.
How drunk do you have to be before you start fighting cops? Like that's.
I don't know. Do you remember that?
I don't think I could be that drunk.
I don't think that's ever going to
not a
happen.
level
anymore,
that
you know
I
what
could
mean?
be
Like,
at.
it's just-
I could never do that, but I do. Do you know a kid named Roy from Severna Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, He roundhouse kicked a cop in the face
Jesus.
and then went to jail for it.
Yeah.
Was this after he gave him his ID?
I don't even know. Well, I mean,
you
he
can't-
roundhouse kicked. I mean, he's a martial artist or was, but he's also had a rough life. He roundhouse kicked a cop in the face, and then 8 other cops beat him into submission.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
so he didn't
so-
actually get away with it.
No.
Joe Rogan has a good joke. I forget whether he's talking about alcohol or weed, but it goes something like, I believe your brain has a safety switch. You could definitely get drunk enough that you cheat on your wife, but nobody ever gets so drunk they tell her about it. Like,
It's so funny.
God damn.
Or I feel like you couldn't get high enough to cheat on your wife. I think.
yeah. See, I think
Well,
he
that's
was
a whole
talking
different
about.
Here's
being,
the thing.
I think he was
Because
talking about being
we-
high, but I don't.
No,
I don't buy that.
If that was a joke, I would have written it like that. Like, because when you're drunk, there's a level of fuck it that happens when you're drunk. But when you're high, I'm sorry, but you overanalyze everything.
Right.
Like, listen here, I'm about to cheat on my wife, but hold up. I got this baby on the way, right? Or maybe you already have a baby, like you're thinking about this kid and how that this cheat might happen. And now with technology, everybody's screenshotting shit. Even if I was to actually want to do this, I might not really get away with it. You know what? This is a bad idea.
8 hours later. 8 hours later.
the booty
sun's
call's already
coming up,
gone.
She's gone.
Now
The
you're
booty
sitting
call's
there
already
like,
gone.
man,
And you're
I
like,
need some
Man,
Funyuns.
thank God I didn't do that.
I wasted
when you're
$28 in this Motel 6. Fuck.
But when you're drunk, man, there's just like a blockage that happens. I feel like that happens. And you're just like, you know what? If I don't think about it, it's not there.
All right, so we usually ask if there's an alcohol that you no longer drink because of
Oh man!
any sort of
Anybody who
situation.
watches this, especially people in Frederick, you already know the answer to this.
I'm curious because I don't actually know. I feel like I should.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Not around these parts. So I'm originally from Frederick. I graduated from Brunswick High School, so I got a lot of friends in Frederick. And big shout out to my man Scott Aaron. Holy fucking parties at his house. I took a dare to chug a brand new bottle of Aftershock.
Oh shit!
no.
I didn't see that coming. I'm like
yeah.
running through my
This is
head.
why. This is why. This is why you
Jaeger.
probably never heard about this because
We're dating ourselves right now.
This is
Because
because
all of us had that same reaction. We're like, oh, Aftershock.
yeah, and so that no bar has that anymore. I don't even think you
Thank
find it
God.
at like liquor
Pretty
stores.
sure they like shuttered that factory
But
for good reason.
I put that thing to my lips, man, and I blip, 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 blip the whole bottle of syrupy shit down. And then somebody broke the bottle, and don't ask me how or why, but I ate some of the crystals because I could tell the difference between the sugar crystals in the bottle of Aftershock and glass. But
Or at least you thought you could.
I thought I could. I mean, nothing
Okay.
happened, so I
Oh,
think
God.
I lucked out.
Like,
on
why is
that.
my poop bloody?
Right?
Must be the
Holy shit.
Aftershock.
You're gonna be like
That's
you're
the-
gonna be like a war,
Oh,
you're gonna be like a
no.
war
Where's
vet.
the
You're gonna-
soundboard?
You're gonna shit out chunks of glass about 5 years from now.
That's the Aftershock. Get it?
Ba-da-ba.
Yeah.
That's what they were talking about.
So yeah, Aftershock is the one, man. I can't smell it. I think Fireball even kind of like is like very reminiscent.
It's in the same family.
Got
It's
like alcohol
Yeah.
PTSD.
Yeah.
It's like,
So like I can like I used to be able to stomach a shot or 2 or 3 or Fireball, maybe 4. After the third one, I probably go numb and I can't really taste the Fireball anymore. But but Aftershock is the one, man. I can't be around it. That's the one.
That's a good answer. I gotta start writing these down. That's what I gotta start doing.
I'm making a list.
What we want to do is we want to put together like a little like a spice rack sort of thing,
Uh-huh.
except by miniature bottles of each one of the responses we get from our
Oh
guests
my god!
Like a
You
little-
know what you should do? You
little
with
shelf
their
of
with their name
sadness.
on it with
You
like a
ever
little
watched-
piece of tape.
You ever watch Top Gear, the old school,
Yeah.
Top Gear. You know how
Yeah,
they always
yeah,
had like the
yeah.
the one lap, and they had everybody's times. They used to
Yeah,
just help
exactly.
with
I
people's
want to do
times
that,
on
except I want to build a spice rack of like little tiny bottles of liquor. And then
Oh,
just,
that's
we
so
could-
funny.
you know,
Just
when you come
people's
in, you put your
names on it.
tape
Like,
up,
yeah,
yeah.
we could
there's
actually-
a bottle of aftershock with your name on it.
We could kind of do that, the same as Top Gear, and then as other people say the same items, we just move it up a little bit.
There you go.
Until the top, until the you move it up one every time somebody repeats it.
We've had very few repeats though.
Really? What was the
Yeah.
other? What was another obscure one
Probably,
that you guys got?
I think
Some of
Jaeger,
them are just weirdly
Jaeger?
specific. Jaeger may have come up more than once.
Oh.
because I've
I
high
could
fived a
see
couple
Jaeger.
people on that because
Rumple-
Jaeger's like one of mine.
Rumplemints.
Specifically, regular Smirnoff for Jeff.
Specifically regular Smirnoff, not the what is it, the triple
100.
distilled or whatever, or the 100. Yeah.
Just vodka?
Yeah. Which, by the
Wait,
way,
what?
they're exactly the
Well,
same, but one's a little
sometimes-
harder.
I mean, come on. I mean, if it was like the grape brunettes or burnettes or something like that,
I
then
think
maybe
it's mental.
something like that. Like
you
or
said,
Popov.
you don't even want to smell it. It's not like you said, I'll never drink it again.
Right,
Like, you don't
like,
even like to
no,
smell
it-
it. I think it's the same thing for him. He had such a bad night on it.
On
he
that-
sees that red label Smirnoff at this
And he
point,
just can't
and
have
his
it,
stomach starts
yeah.
to turn a little bit.
So it's a
I
visual
forget
thing
what-
for
I
him
forget what
versus
he
the
did.
scent.
That night he beat his wife or something, or like,
We had that string of episodes. Everybody was beating the fuck out of their significant others. So,
Oh, Lord.
it was a weird time in this show.
yeah.
Was it during the winter time?
What was Maddie? What was Maddie drinking when she?
Maddie Harold?
Maddie
Yeah.
Harold told a story where she got blackout drunk and then she just got fully naked at a
Like-
house party
and, like,
she
answered
was
the
just
door.
greeting
Damn.
people at the door, like just
What?
blackout drunk. Yeah, it was a good
Whoever's house
story.
party that was, he was like, "Yo, we'll never forget about this party,
This
man."
party's
It was a
amazing.
long time ago, I think.
She said she met people later, and they're like, I knew you from somewhere. I was like, oh, man.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
I thought I recognized you, but you're so clothed. It was
Oh,
hard to tell.
no.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I can't remember what she was drinking. I'm gonna have to go back
man.
through them
Yeah,
before,
we'll have to look.
before we get too many, and at least start the log.
Start a
We need to
list,
do that.
yeah. Damn, what a great time! Thanks for the memories, guys.
Yeah, right?
She was on early. That was first 10, I think. That was really
Somewhere
early
in
in
there,
our
right?
run. She came on with Toro or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little bit of Black Sand left. Do we want to go to
Where were we
Would
going
You
back
Rather?
to? We were
Do
telling
we-
the story, and then did we go back to anything else? I thought you were going to finish
Oh,
something
I
else.
think it was, did we ever get to the song that everybody thinks? I think we transitioned off and never came back to it.
So I'll tell you what it's. Let me just rephrase your question, and I'll tell you the song. It's not the song that everybody thinks they can but can't sing. It's mostly the song that most people can't sing, and they think they can.
I thought
What
that's-
is it?
Is that the same question?
Yes.
Like,
No,
the gears are still turning. in my head. I can't keep up.
I was trying.
and, and that song is like Whitney
"Don't Stop
Houston.
Believing" by
Oh,
Journey.
Yeah. Okay.
Number two.
The white people anthem.
Number two comes in at Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh no,
Number
that would just
two
make
hated.
me angry when people would fuck that up.
Mm-hmm. Number three comes in at. Actually, this is probably number one because I've actually deleted this song from my system. It's "Paradise by the Dashboard Lights." That is Meatloaf.
Oh,
It's a 9-minute duet.
Oh.
And nine times
Nobody
out
knows
of 10,
the whole thing.
9 times out of 10, one person knows the whole thing, but the other doesn't. So that
sounds
one
terrible.
time you'll get both parties that can actually sing, know both parts, and sound great. So it's at that point it's just a very fucking long song because it's lyrically 9 minutes
Yeah,
long.
9
Whereas like
minutes.
Freebird is like 4 minutes song, 5 minutes solo. You know what I mean?
So they only sing for 4 minutes, and then you're just
That's
like,
Freebird.
all right,
No,
yeah,
that's
there we go,
Freebird.
yeah, okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
Paradise by the Dashboard Lights is
Right.
full 9 minutes of singing.
Okay.
So
okay.
this is why I deleted it, because 9 times out of 10, it's always done incorrectly and horrible. So it ends up being 9 minutes of fucking horrid.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
even if you get one
So-
of them that can sing, you still have half of the rest.
You
of
have
the
the
time.
other half that's fucking the whole shit
And
up.
Don't Stop Believing. That's
And Don't
everybody
Stop
loves
Believing.
it, but it gets super
The
high.
shit, you know when that happened?
Yeah.
I can tell you exactly when it happened. It's a fucking fad. What happened once Glee got super popular, all right? Way back in the day. This is back in the day when Jilly's was, I was doing Saturdays. I was doing Saturday nights at Jilly's on like the first owners before even Brian and them took it over.
Yeah.
And Glee came out. It was a big thing, and they did "Don't Stop Believing," and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what is this song?" And then everybody, all of a sudden, these random people would come up to me and they're like, "Do you have Don't Stop Believing by Journey?"
By Glee?
And I'm like, "No." "Yes, I do. Yeah, I do." So I'm like, "Oh, yeah, absolutely." So I'm like, "Cool." Everybody's singing it. And it just kept going. So now it's a fucking college anthem. Like, all of the kids are fucking singing it at karaoke because that's the thing. You get drunk, you sing Don't Stop Believing, just like they did on Glee. But, man, I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm done with it. It's probably going to be the next deleted song in my system.
Don't Stop Believing. That's up there with, like, what's it, Sweet Caroline? That's
You know what?
everybody joins in on.
So 2002.
Everybody joins in.
Yeah, that's
that
that's
kinda
why I
blurs
really
it
like
a little
Everybody
bit.
joins in is one thing versus everybody constantly singing it
Oh, okay.
and it being annoying and overplayed and oversang.
So the year is 2002, and a couple of things are happening. Number one, my then girlfriend, now wife, is attending school at the University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Journey has always been really big in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
If you ask people in Pittsburgh, Journey is from Pittsburgh. They're fucking wrong. They're from Chicago, but
We know
that's
that.
just what they're like.
But they
that's
love
their
they love
thing.
Journey so much
They
there
love
that
Journey there.
they've adopted them.
I am 20. Let's see, 2002. So I'm like 22
Probably
years
go
old,
with
something like
something.
that. 24 years old. I don't know how old I am. Early 20s. I've gone up to visit. 19. I'm 19.
Yeah, I was gonna
So,
say, I
yeah,
think-
yeah. Sorry, I lost my math for a moment. I'm 19 years old. I've gone up to visit my girlfriend for the weekend. The other thing that's happening is the show Family Guy is at its peak at that point,
Okay.
right? It's come out a couple of years before. Everybody loves it. I think this is in its comeback. It's the biggest thing. Everybody back home at the University of Maryland, where I'm attending, everybody's watching it. Everybody knows every line. Everybody quotes it all the
Right.
time, right? Adam West is the mayor. And there's a scene
R.I.P.
in Family Guy, R.I.P. Adam West. There's a scene in Family Guy where Peter starts a cover band where they're going to cover Journey songs, right? And he starts it with his friends, and they start playing Don't Stop Believing. And Adam West is a pallbearer at a funeral, and everybody drops the coffin and leaves to go attend Peter's cover song that they hear. And Adam West says, "I love this song, and I love it when amateurs sing the lyrics." And it's a throwaway line. It's fine. I'm now at a bar in Pittsburgh. They love this song. It's a karaoke night.
Okay.
It's getting to be the last song of the night. And somebody gets up there and they're going to sing Don't Stop Believing. And I think I'm going to be fucking hilarious with all of Susan's friends who don't know me and I'm trying to impress. And the song starts playing. And I know what it is. And I shout at the top of my lungs, I'm going to be the funniest motherfucker in the world. I'm like, I love this song. And I love it when amateurs sing the lyrics. And all of Susan's friends turn around and look at me like, you fucking asshole. You shut your fucking mouth.
How
Like,
dare you
this
ruin
is
our journey
yeah,
time.
They were
Oh,
not
no.
amused at all. I was just the person who was looking down at their beloved song. So I also hate Don't Stop Believing.
Listen, let me tell you something, sir. You probably saved a couple of people.
Yeah.
I think you should know this. You should travel on through life and say this to your now wife, then girlfriend, that you have probably saved some people. Somebody felt those words of yours in that bar that day in 2002, and I bet you anytime he thinks Don't Stop, and he hears Don't Stop Believing come on karaoke or on a radio, he is going to remember your face and the words that said, I love this song, especially when amateurs fucking sing. Dude, listen, you probably saved a couple people.
It is one of the worst moments of my life.
Well, I'm giving
Worth
you,
it. Worth
I
it.
am lining it with silver, bro.
I will never forget.
Got a card?
No.
Oh, we forgot.
Ooh.
So how we like to finish things up is with Would You Rather.
Now I have a card.
Dun, 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 dun.
Randomly selected from the tin box. Let's see how dark we get today. Oh, we're going to start light. Would you rather attempt a 50-yard field goal with an iron bar just over the ball? I retract my
Oh.
previous segment.
Ah.
Previous statement.
Wait,
Okay.
what?
Or you can either try and kick a 50-yard field goal, but there is an iron bar directly above the ball on the tee. So you're going to smash your shin into an iron bar as hard as you can. or shatter your own nose by hitting it with a bottle.
What? Oh.
Why do I have to do it with a bottle? Is the bottle going to shatter? It's probably going to shatter, right?
No. That's what you would hope, but it's not because your
It's better
cartilage
if it
is,
doesn't, I would
cartilage
think.
is going to give before the bottle does.
Yeah.
I would hope it doesn't shatter.
Fuck.
I'm gonna go.
Do
with,
I have to go with logistics to why my answer is my answer? Or
we
is this a
usually kind of
discussion
explain,
topic?
but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can coin flip it if you want. Like this one
Shit.
sounds pretty awful either way. A lot of them are.
Yeah, I think I would much rather attempt a 50-yard field goal with an iron bar above my shin. Although I know that it would hurt so fucking bad, but the shin is one of the most
If you
strongest
really,
bones,
you really
and I need
went,
this.
If you
that was my second part.
Poppy needs his moneymaker.
I can't
Yeah,
touch
okay.
the moneymaker, man. So I'll limp all day, but I gotta look good. I can't show up to a wedding.
So as someone that has done fight training, yes, the shin is durable, but
Durable, not the strongest.
not as much as you'd
the
think.
elbow is.
If
isn't
you're
it?
going full on like field goal kick,
for 50 yards, that's a full
That's
on. That's
full.
you're
I'm
cocking
thinking a
back.
scenario. The scenario I'm thinking is somebody has told you, I will give you $1 million to hit this 50-yard field goal. But you're going to be blindfolded, and they haven't told you that the bar's there. So you're kicking this thing as hard as you possibly can. I think you're going to fold your...
blindfolded.
No, but it says you're going to try and kick a 50-yard field goal with an iron bar there.
Okay.
So, like, you're not going to hold back, right? You've
Right.
got to hit this thing as hard
Yeah.
as you can.
Right.
I think you're going to fold your leg underneath of it. I think
Yeah.
you're going to shatter both bones in
Exactly.
your leg and
that's why I would say
never
the
walk
nose
right
because
again.
most cases
you're right about that.
you can reset your nose and be okay in a few weeks with. You'll look like shit.
Yeah, you're like
You'll look like absolute shit for a while.
I'm worried the
'Cause you're
bottle's
talking
going to
about
break and you're going to
shatter-
shred your face.
shatter your nose. No, actually, that's the cartilage in your nose will give too much for the bottle.
Depends
to
on the
break.
bottle.
I'm saying you can fucking jack up all the bone, like
Yeah,
all that, and it can be
doable in a couple weeks.
yeah. I mean, you reset everything. I mean, especially with a bottle. Yeah, you might cut yourself, but even that, it's like that's a lot different than wrapping your ankle or your shin
Yeah, no, you're
around.
right.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I mean, that's months and months, and then months after that of rehab. Like,
See, this is what happens when you guys think too much.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when you guys think too much. You thought about it, and now we're more logical. Thanks for cheating on the
That's
wife.
how we always do. Would
know?
you rather have an arm in the place of one of your legs or a leg in the place of one of your arms?
Oh, I'm in a place of one of my legs.
I feel like that might be useful. You
Kick somebody with your right cross?
or no, like you.
No, I would have.
I
an
might have
arm
your
for a
hand.
leg.
It'd
Oh,
be
a
like
third arm.
yeah,
I see.
you'd go like.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have
an
a monkey
opposable,
leg.
Yeah, you'd have an opposable thumb.
Problem is it's short.
Mowgli.
Significantly short, right? Like, that's the problem. Like, your walking is a challenge.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wheelchair that
When you
shit.
walk with a
Yo,
crutch,
I'll just. I'll hand myself
skateboard
around.
it? Yeah.
Oh my god! Can you imagine? Yeah, that'd be fun. Skateboard with the left, grab shit with the right.
I don't see any benefit to having a fucking leg up
Yeah,
on
well,
your
I don't see
torso.
benefit either. But
Although
I'm
ask
talking,
some
like,
Sicilians
daily nuisance.
that question.
One of my legs is 8 inches shorter than the other.
All right, you hold.
That's a problem.
You use your foot hand to hold an
An
a
extension.
foot.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Or you get
Yeah, all
an
right.
actual crutch and that you can now hold with your fucking foot leg,
hand.
foot
Yeah.
hand.
I'm
I'd say a foot. I'd say a foot hand.
I'm sold.
And plus,
Arm-
you'd
arm
still
leg.
look good for pictures. Waist up.
Hey, waist
Sure,
up.
you're not a
The
complete
bust
freak.
would look
Yeah,
normal.
You only make people uncomfortable when you stand up and walk out from behind whatever you're standing behind.
Yeah. Or if
Nobody, nobody would know until you stepped up from behind the
Or
bar.
if
and
you-
everybody's
Yeah,
like,
right, dude.
Oh God,
Dude, you'd
Or if
have
you
you'd
gently
have a foot,
caress
you'd
their
have
face.
a foot and like one of those Olympic
Oh, and you just wear pants all the time.
and just have like a stilt, man. You got one foot and
You're
one
right.
hand, man, just
Nah,
rolling.
You guys sold me. You're right. We're good. Would you rather use someone else's clipped toenail as a toothpick, or eat a slice of spoiled green bread? I'm going toenail. That doesn't bother me that much. It's weird, but I feel like I could do that.
Spoiled green bread?
Yeah, like rotted green bread. You know,
I mean,
it's got mold on it.
Ooh.
I feel like you get really sick doing that.
I mean,
I don't know enough.
Both of
about
those are
mold.
gross, but I don't feel like either of them are like that. Like
Moldy
just
green bread. I'd have a hard time with that.
A hard? Speaking of hard, you're
Yeah.
putting somebody's toenail in your mouth and just like
That-
slicing
it
your gum
should-
with.
It should bother me. It doesn't for some reason. I don't know why. It just like
let's toss up
I'm
for
just
me.
numb
I don't
to
really care
toenails.
either way.
Here's the thing. I would do the toenails only because
for free.
listen,
like just because if somebody's like, "Here's a toenail."
no, that versus the bread.
Yeah, I got you.
Only because like when I bite my toenail, not my toenails, but when I bite my actual nails, I actually put them through my teeth and then I spit them out.
Yeah, I don't.
Confession.
It should gross me out a lot. But it
Ryan
doesn't.
hates that. It's just like what?
I think
are you
every
doing?
guy leaves nail clippings everywhere.
Oh yeah,
That's just what we do.
I think I've discovered something about myself today. Would you rather win a Nobel Prize for an idea you stole, or become wealthy from an invention that hurts people? You can sit this one out. Ahmad?
Oh man, I either have no values or I'm truly a terrorist.
I mean, you're a bad person. You're a bad person either way.
You're a bad person. If you're a bad person either way, I would I'd probably get rich off of an invention. I can't.
But you've just chosen hurting people over feeling kind of guilty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that response.
Yes, I did.
Remember, kids, it doesn't matter how bad you are. Just own it.
Yep.
Would you rather, as a man, lose 2 fingers off each hand, or 1/3 of your penis?
Fingers,
For
sure. I'd make up the coolest story. I'd just walk around shooting people like this.
Those finger guns.
Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, that's like not even a.
That's not even a thing.
It's like they should have gone for like 4 fingers.
You could have pretty much said hands, and I would have still
Really?
had to. I would have had to think about
Or
it.
the
Hands?
middle third of your dick? Like, it's just length. Like, you don't have to cut it with a cleaver or anything like that. Like, it's going to be surgically done where you're passed out, no scarring, everything's going to be fine. It's just going to be 1/3 shorter. Or we cut your hands off.
I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it would, like. It's not even a thought at this point with the 2
I'd
fingers.
still be all right.
You'd go hands,
I would go. I would
both hands over 1/3 of your dick?
2 fingers on both.
I think
hands?
I'd.
No, that's
both
that's
hands.
done.
Both
No,
hands.
no,
You can
no,
take
I'm
half
saying,
my dick and I'll still be good.
No, I'm saying both hands.
No hands.
Just saying.
You're keeping your hands.
I'm keeping the hands.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. All right.
Oh no,
That's-
I'm saying
I got enough to.
I'd
I got enough
probably
to
hesitate a little
sacrifice.
bit though.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I think
your
I think as
hands.
long as I had some sort of claw-like
Claw,
thing,
yeah.
So
here,
you'd go to 3 fingers.
I probably would.
Ooh.
4 fingers? Did you get a 4 fingers? Just a thumb now?
No, I'd have to
Thumb
be able
and a
to pick
stub
things
for
up.
gripping. Okay, so the claw,
Yeah, 3 fingers tops.
the middle third of
The
your
claw.
dick. Okay, fair enough.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
I went the other way this time.
Hey, it
They've
changed.
gone
It didn't
right
end
a
up in the
couple
pile.
of times. Now it went over that way.
But yes, our sands of time have run down. Would you rather has run through. We have hit all our topics of noteworthy measure, I suppose.
I was so thrilled. I had 1,000 questions coming over here.
Oh, man, dude, I had a couple stories
I was
too, man.
like-
That's
Like
it.
the microphone that somebody
Oh.
threw into my face at,
All right.
at the Phoenix.
Well, we have. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
I might have to see you
for
again.
for this episode of Last Call, I think we're about done. Thank you very much for everybody joining us and tuning in to listen. Thank you to Ahmad for joining us. And
My pleasure, guys. You guys are
being a
awesome.
guest.
It's such
so
a great,
you ran
great
us,
podcast.
You ran us through your rotation where you're at during the week. Anything else you want to plug while you're here?
Oh my
Projects,
God, yeah.
websites.
yeah,
I'd like to actually plug my awesome wife. Big shout out to Ryan. Follow her on Instagram. Look up her stuff, and she's
What's her
doing
tag? we'll throw it up there. But what?
It's Ryan Kelly MUA
Okay.
on YouTube and Instagram, and she's like this, just coming up in the lip art situation right now. She's getting popular, and I just wish her the best, and I want her to just really, really, really succeed in doing what she's doing, because holy shit, I'm trying to ride these coattails.
Is she she's the one singing on the track that we were talking about putting at the end here? Is that that cover track? Is that
you talking about Don't Speak?
Yeah.
She's actually the one singing. I
Yeah,
made the
yeah.
track, and she's actually the one singing to it.
We're gonna plug this onto the end of the show here. It's a cover of Don't Speak. You were talking about what you did. You put it in. You turned it into a 6/8 time.
song.
You made it into a minor track.
Into 6/8.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And so Ryan's singing on it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Awesome. So
She has this
we'll
really
throw
cool
that
video.
at the end of the show.
She has a video that goes to it too.
Is that on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, and it's on her Instagram, where she stitches her mouth shut.
That sounds horrifying. I'll skip
You know,
that, but I'm
Don't
super
Speak.
psyched. I love this song.
Nice. No, I appreciate it,
That
guys.
sounds
Thanks
like
a lot.
Sounds like a would you rather question.
Would you rather?
Stitch your lip shut or nope, I'm good.
That's like, yeah.
Unless it's the middle third of my dick, then I stitch it
Yeah,
shut, I guess.
yeah. Go ahead, stitch them out. Shut.
Take it. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank
yeah.
you for coming. We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much for everybody tuning in. Thanks to everybody for being here. We'll see y'all next time on the next last call.
See ya.
Don't speak, I know just what you're saying, so please stop explaining. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts. Don't